Hi, and welcome to the Audrain Museum Network. You're about to see a really terrific video shot in the mountains of Switzerland by Antonio Meligari and featuring some of our great Audrain team members as they conquer the ice in St. Moritz. We shot so many great interviews in this video that we didn't have a place to put them all. However, if you want to become a member of the Audrain Automobile Museum, click the link here and you can get right to our membership portal and have fun.
Hi, I'm Antonio Meligari, and if you want to join us on great adventures like this in St. Moritz, make sure to subscribe to the Audrain Museum Network. Hit that like button, leave us a comment down below, and enjoy the show. The ice is one of those events where the impossible becomes possible. Most of the time when you think of a Concours d'Elegance, there are sunny skies and warm temps. The ice, hint hint, is a winter weather paradise. Cars make their way from all around the world to St. Moritz, Switzerland for a weekend of ice driving on Lake St. Moritz and incredible events hosted around town. This was the first time that we participated in this event, and a lot of prep work went into making sure our 102-year-old 3-liter Bentley could handle the conditions. After it was acquired, we immediately had it sent to the pre-war whisperer, Evan Ide, to make sure she was ready for the ice.
Yeah, the early 3-liter is what I always tell people. If you want to get into Bentleys, get one of these, because they're like the real original Bentley. And because these were sports cars, you know, they were light, they were high performance, technically sophisticated. And kind of like, a good analogy is like a later E-Type, you know, like the first one is the one everyone wants. It's like light and simple.
It's got the different switches and
toggles, it's like clean. And as they go, they just like get heavier and bigger and they bigger engines and all this, but they're no fun compared to the early ones. And I think the Bentleys are a little bit like that. You know, they made this, then they made a 4.5, or they made 6.5, and an 8-liter.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's giant like the other ones.
It's not giant like the other ones. And a lot of people make the mistake of thinking that, oh, well, they made a 6.5, so it's got to be better. Or they made an 8, that must be the best.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really work that way. These are a lot of fun. They're short, they're light, and the motor is quite flexible. The motor is cool. You know, it's a 3-liter 4-cylinder. But it's 4 valves per cylinder, it's overhead cam, you know, it was really technologically state of the art.
Yeah.
And especially for this, I mean, this is really early car. It's like a 1922, 23, yeah. And I think it's only the 160th Bentley made.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's so early that it had to be upgraded later to front brakes.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, so
it predates front brakes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And was that something that would have been done at the factory, or was that?
I think it was done. It's on the factory records.
So it would have been done.
Yeah, it was.
And what's cool about this car too, and talking when at the auction, a Bentley specialist who was looking at the car, that car actually came with the original handwritten warranty.
Oh yeah,
wow.
yeah.
It doesn't have that anymore.
Yeah, it was like a 3-year. It was a guarantee.
It was guaranteed. Wow. I think it's a pretty good one.
It was a really good guarantee, especially in 1922. And
yep.
So that's definitely a cool thing to have. And I know when we acquired this, I was very excited, and obviously with your guidance, that helped a lot. And I think it's going to be fun. And
people are often skeptical too, because they'll be like, you know, why are you telling me to buy what's technically the least expensive one? As far as like a really pure car, the price difference is, I mean, these are significantly cheaper than the equivalent of some of the other models.
After a flight from Boston to Zurich, Switzerland, I mastered the Swiss train system to visit Sean, aka Barry, in the garage where he was prepping the tires with studs. I was lucky to make it to St. Moritz while I could because upon arrival, a massive snowstorm blew in and changed the course of the weekend. Over 2 feet of snow would fall over the next day, causing the Concours to take place in the garage.
All right, so we're here. It's Friday, the first day of the ice event. And as you saw earlier, we got about 2 feet of snow last night, and it's actually still snowing, but we made it to the garage where we have our 3-liter Bentley, 1922 3-liter Bentley that we brought all the way from Newport, Rhode Island to St. Moritz, Switzerland. We acquired this car at the Audrain 2023 Concours, and it hadn't been used for quite some time. And as you saw, this was at Evan Ide's shop, and he went through the whole car, cleaned up the fuel system about 3 times before we got it running to the current state it's in, which is phenomenal. I actually drove this in the Alps up about 6,000 feet in altitude, and it had 0 issues. Pretty impressive. I was keeping up with the Delage right there and a Ferrari, and it was quite a spectacular drive, to say the least. But today, as you can see, the car has been prepped. We put the studs on it last night. It's been detailed, and now we're just waiting to put it on the lake. We have about 2 feet of snow, so we're excited to see what that looks like with this driving with the studs. I think it will be no problem. So.
The weather sadly descended today. We've had a lot of snow. When I woke up this morning, there was 2 feet of snow around the car. We had to dig our road car out, but we managed to get here. And now we've just been judged. We had some very nice judges, Philip Ratkin and Lord Norman Foster. Now, Lord Foster is a legend in his own lifetime, one of the world's most famous architects who's still working, still designing houses. And so I was delighted to talk to him about this car, because to me, a vintage Bentley is just heaven on earth. And I think he liked it too. He appreciated the beautiful color, this oxblood red, which I think is so subtle, but was true. It was the first color when it was built by Park Ward, the coach builder in London, and delivered to its first owner in London, who happened to live, though, in Australia. And the car itself went to Australia, where it spent all of its life until we acquired it in Newport last year. And it drives beautifully. The team drove it around the Alps the day before yesterday, and apparently it drove beautifully without fault, and they had a fabulous time. So I think this car deserves to do well here. I've got my fingers crossed. It's a tense moment. We've moved to the garage to be judged because it's still snowing outside, and the organizers felt that it wasn't fair to put the cars outside in all the snow and the ice. So it's a slightly different atmosphere here, but everybody's getting on beautifully. And as I say, these people are coming from all over the world with world-class cars. Some of them have won Concours all around the world. Some have won races. We have Le Mans winners from before the war. We have, I'm delighted to see, and I'm looking at it right now, the Delage that won the Audrain Newport Concours in 23, owned by Fritz Burkhardt, who's one of the most enthusiastic collectors to bring cars to the ice, and it's a thrill.
The snow continued to fall overnight, and unfortunately we were unable to go on the ice. Although we were disappointed, the ICE team quickly organized a driving tour. We drove through the town, and it was amazing to see how many people were so happy to see collector cars being driven in the snow. Nothing makes people smile like a pre-war.
That's your car! Run away!
We stopped at the Olympia Bob Run where guests could enjoy the cars, and we even got to participate in the bobsled run where we experienced up to 5 G's of force in the turns. Truly an incredible experience. On our way back to the garage, we ran into some great friends of the Audrain. Philip Seraphin even has one of his new radial engine Myers Manx in the museum right now.
Hey guys, how are you all? Welcome to San Moritz. We're in the garage. Unfortunately, we're snowed in, so we won't be putting the cars on ice, but hey, we're all here as car enthusiasts and everybody is excitedly looking around at all the cool kit here. Would love to show you the 1979 Aston Martin Bulldog. This is a wedge design that was created by William Towns. We restored the car at CMC in Worcester, England. The car was always destined to hit 200 miles per hour and was sold before being able to have its 200 mile per hour run at Wolfsburg. It did achieve 192 at Myra Test Track in period, and we're very happy that we recently took it to Campbelltown, Scotland. Darren Turner and I both drove it. I took it 204.8 miles per hour, and Darren drove it 205.4. Naturally, a 3-time Le Mans winner would have a half a mile on me. Pardon me.
Yeah.
And here's some of the battle scars from our 200 mile per hour run as well. This is the 5.7 liter V8 that basically is a Lagonda engine, a car also designed by William Towns. The chassis number is DPK901. It was, thought of as the K9 project. And done essentially in a blacksmith's workshop, but in a locked room, and that had a sign on the door that said "Danger, Canine," so people wouldn't enter. When we found the car, it was a 2-tone green exterior with magnolia interior that had green piping, in a TV screen in the center console that was acted as the backup camera. We took it back to its original spec. We worked with the folks at Connolly who actually had original leather swatches of the Nucciola leather that was used in period, and we found panels that had the original paint, so we were able to get it back to its exact color combination. And I wish I could show you some of the lights. Actually, I think I can. I'll jump in and show you how the lights function as well. Do you want to sort of look at the front of the car? Thank you very much for letting me be on your show, and happy to give you a tour of the Bulldog.
Fritz, it is so great to be here. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. You suggested when we saw you in Newport, Rhode Island, when you won our wonderful Audrain Concours, best of show then in October 23, had been best of the best. You were winning everything. Tell me how you approach a car like this and how you turn it into almost a daily driver? Because that's really what you do.
How I approach it, I mean, a car must create a twitching in your stomach. That's the important thing. Cars don't happen in here, they happen here.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's such a beauty, so elegant, and I knew it from the Richard Auto book, and I was lucky to be able to buy it, and then I drive them.
Yeah.
I mean, I drove this car from Vermont down to Rhode Island.
I know, what, was it 300 miles or something?
Superb.
Yeah.
And this is so beautiful to drive, and 3 days ago we went here over the Bernina Pass, 2,300 meters, walls of snow next to us, we're driving open in the sunshine. Beautiful, beautiful.
It must have been
Whoever is
bliss.
not driving the car is missing the point.
I agree. This is what they are, cars.
Yes.
However they are clothes, whatever clothes they're wearing, they're still transport.
Absolutely.
But that's where you fall in love with a car.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And it makes people smile. Like
Of
this, they can
course.
see the car.
We're sharing it. I mean,
That's
not
the
to
point.
put too sort of big a deal about it, but it's fabulous to have the general public see it
And inspire
and
the children.
inspire the next generation.
That's the point.
That's
the
how
point.
we need to hook them in, and then our lovely hobby will continue. That's what
Yes.
we should be doing.
I think so, and I think this is a great event where also children can get in touch with the car, they can approach the car.
Yeah.
We have the little cars here, the electric cars, they can
Yes.
even drive them and have
Yeah.
fun, and
Yeah.
that's how they slowly get into our passion. And
I
that's
saw
great.
them on the ice yesterday.
Oh my God,
They're
yes.
fabulous. You know,
They-
sideways.
Superb. They're fast, they're beautifully manufactured.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a great product from the little car company, I have to say. We
I've
love it.
always said that if you can get a teenager behind the wheel of an interesting car, they're hooked for life. That's what happened to me, and I'm sure
Absolutely.
that's what happened to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was maybe 7, 8 years old when it started.
Yeah.
And it's also when I was 14, I saw a picture of a teardrop of a Talbolago, and it hooked me for the rest of my life. Could never forget it.
And that was the beginning of the story.
It is
Yeah.
always.
Yeah.
So get the kids in the cars, drive the car, get them out.
Yeah.
When they get dirty, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the most important instrument of a car is the smilometer. The smilometer. How much a car makes you happy and smile
agree.
every time you use it.
I agree.
That's what they're made for.
Fantastic. Well, you really are the best of the best. The best of the best, the car.
That's
the
the
best
car.
of the best collectors. We love
you're
you.
too
We
kind.
hope to see you again in Newport this year.
Absolutely. I love the Concours. It's so much fun, so easygoing,
Thank you.
spectacular car, and great people.
I love it.
Thank you.
All
See you
right.
in
Good
fall.
to see you.
Good to see you, Lee. Thank you.
The event was concluded by a party at the Badrud's Palace to celebrate the winner of the Ice Concours. Hey, I think we know this guy. It was an incredible night filled with dancing and a lot of fun. The next day, Sean and I took advantage of the sun and drove the car through the Alps, including the Bernina Pass, where we visited the Myers-Manx Cafe for some much-needed espresso.
Because the event on the lake was canceled due to the snow, a bunch of us who were willing to take our cars out, we drove them through the towns of St. Moritz and some local towns here. And one of the highlights, I would say, was seeing the faces of kids and everyone and adults just loving seeing these cars in this environment. Very rarely do you see cars like this, Bentleys, Delages, hot rods, Alfa Romeos that won Le Mans, drive in mountain snowy climate. And you know, we have the privilege of driving cars in many different events, but I've never seen people so happy to see cars out, and I think that was another highlight from this event. And I think the event and the organizers did a really good job. One of those moments that I will cherish and remember for the rest of my life. And like I said, me and this car are forever bonded.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this video. I know the team and I had a lot of fun. This was an incredible place. Switzerland is amazing, St. Moritz is amazing, the ice event was amazing. Even though it didn't go as planned, we still had so much fun, and we can't wait to come back next time.